Good morning, everyone. Today we're checking out a brand new video from Popcross Studios of him turning DreamWorks characters into demons. And now, before we hop into this, you're probably wondering why is there only one Popcross video this week? Simple. The other one is I guess you could say, all of his Five Nights at Freddy's Dragons videos put together. And that video is nearly an hour long. And there's nothing against that. But I say those hour-long videos should be enjoyed personally without any kind of reaction. So let's hop in and see which characters become demons.
Because I knew that today was officially going to mark the release of my extended edition novel, Fear of the Demon Hunters, I made sure that this month's community redraw was demon-related. I got my audience to submit their own version of DreamWorks animated characters as demons, and in this video I'm going to show off the stuff that was sent in, redraw some of my favorites, present the lore for them, and of course, talk a little bit about this book and features in.
Okay, before we actually get into that, those even just little tidbits of the fan drawings, damn, they look pretty monstrous. Or I guess you could say pretty demonous, eh?
Like how you get access to a full exclusive bonus episode. But first, let's get into some of the community submitted demons, shall we?
Let's go. Hit like if you want. Subscribe if you feel like it. By the way, enjoy the show.
It's been said before that fear comes in many forms. While something may
kind of
bring joy to one being, that very same thing could horrify another. While it may sound strange to some, there are even those who have a fear of singing, such as a young man by the name of Brian Anch. This is largely due to a traumatic experience.
Love the design so far, really well done, and you can actually almost tell which character is which.
He went through as a child, which led him to believe that singing killed his grandma. This is not exactly true, but it is understandable to see how a child of 7 would internally—
Dude, look at the hell! It became heads! Holy crap, that is some, monstrous gorilla stuff.
Analyze the event in this way and develop a fear of singing. You see, his grandmother was a renowned opera singer, and as a boy, Brian was obsessed with her voice. He'd sing with her for hours any time she babysat the boy, and he was quite a gifted vocalist himself. Unfortunately, the first time
Brian is Branch, okay.
Went to see his grandmother on stage, just as she was hitting the most triumphant note of her solo, a poorly hung light dropped directly on the woman's head. From then on, Brian never sang again and became very uncomfortable any time someone played music around him. His parents thought this was simply a phase that would pass, but it only got worse.
Dude watched his grandmother die by a fallen light. That's not a phase, that's trauma.
Over time. By the time he was in his early 20s, Brian had become a shut-in, refusing to go anywhere music may be played, and a fear of this magnitude was more than enough to draw the wrath of a demon to him. Now, while I've recently spoken of a trio of demons of song, they are not truly the demons who seek those with a fear of music. That demon is Popularis. This demon has a hive mind. Because a fear of singing is rare, the demon adapted the ability to split into dozens of smaller fiends spreading across the world. When one acquires the scent they seek, all the others will be attracted to it. When Popularis found Brian—
Oh, great, so it's not just a hive mind, it's a hive being. Oh, well, that's just great.
And she waited for the others of her kind to come to her, while watching for any moments of joy that came into Brian's fear-filled life. As soon as a happy moment arose, she'd begin to sing, throwing her voice and making it sound as though it were coming from various sources and directions, so as to not yet make him suspect anything paranormal was afoot. The more she halted any joy from coming into his life, the more his fears were amplified and consumed his mind. Eventually, more and more of her separated forms came to Popularis and merged with her, making her grow in size and strength until she felt it was finally time to strike.
I'm sure he actually did say how many, but how many of those little beings can she split off of? Is every single strand of her hair capable of becoming one of those things?
The demon revealed itself to Brian and used her amorphous hair to stretch and make an impenetrable barrier around them both. This itself was more than enough to terrify him, as this occurred in a time when demons were not public knowledge to the world. It became that much worse when Popularis began to sing. Brian attempted to flee the confines of the hair barrier around him, but anytime he got close to the walls, the smaller variant of Popularis would emerge from them, and begin singing louder, in harmony with her main form. Brian eventually became a quivering mess on the ground. Popularis was getting exactly what she wanted and took steps to amplify his fear and make him perfectly marinated in the emotion for her feast.
Oh god.
But this was when she made a tide-turning mistake. Popularis allowed the lights in her eyes to flash in a strobing pattern before she began to sing the very song Brian's grandmother had been singing the night she died. The demon clearly thought this would be the ultimate final note for Brian. But instead, it inspired a turn in the struggling man. His shaking body steadied, and he began singing along to the song. The demon so perfectly mimicked his grandmother's voice that it actually became calming, as if his deceased relative had returned. It had been so long since Brian had tried singing that he'd forgotten how the very feeling resonated through his body and made him feel not only safer, but stronger. The demon tried to change songs and tacts, sensing that his fear was dwindling, but Brian just bellowed over the demon's voice, continuing the song of his grandmother. The louder he got, the quieter the demon became. He bellowed the song at the top of his lungs and hit the triumphant final note, but instead of being...
Hold on, just got a realization. This character is named Poppy, and those Poppy playtimes. Literally two fictional characters that are both small and have something to do with pink. Yeah, I get it. Poppy's hair is red, and I don't mean this Poppy, I mean Playtime Poppy. Yes, her hair is red. Okay, what kind of connection do you want me to make aside from the name? They're both wearing a blue dress? Come on. And I'm trying to make some kind of connection. You know, they're both named Poppy, both have something to do with... You know what? Screw it. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's go.
Struck dead as his grandmother was. When the note ended, the demon had vanished. From then on, any time Brian felt afraid, even if triggered by hearing other music, he would quietly sing that song again. With his courage rediscovered, he was then able to open himself to the world once more, and, I am happy to say, is now leading a full life as a music teacher. Well, I clearly do not condone the creation of the demons of fear that have hunted and killed so many. It is always heartwarming to hear when one was able to successfully achieve what it was born to do.
The original goal
to face and overcome their fears, and ultimately lead a better life. But Brian is simply one success among many failures who, instead, succumbed to their fears and were devoured.
Yeah, that is a little bit of a shame. But then again, it's better to have at least one win instead of no wins. Am I right? Love design, love the glow.
While many demons may seem intelligent, given their ability to emotionally manipulate such strong reactions of terror in their victims, in truth, many are essentially mindless, acting on pre-wired instincts that they did not develop themselves, but were instilled in them. In most cases, the genuinely intelligent ones are demon generals. But there are other cases, and even unfortunately cases of brilliant demons, such as Mind Scrupulos. Originally he...
I'm sorry, that name, Mind Scrupulos? That is... Okay, I don't have anything against it, that name's just kind of a mouthful.
Was simply a demon who sought those with a fear of being a bad person, or being outright evil. It may sound somewhat vague, but in truth, this is a fear that the majority of humans who have existed in recent centuries...
Wait. So this demon is going after people that are afraid of being evil? That is... I don't even have words. How does that actually work? It's a demon that goes after people with a fear of being evil. That, sounds a little counterintuitive. You know what? Let's just hear the story.
Have struggled with at some point in their lives.
By the way.
This has meant that Mind Scrupulos has never had a shortage of meals, and the more he consumed over the centuries, the stronger his intellect became. His original tact was to find a person
Okay.
with a particularly strong fear of being evil and enhance the invasive thoughts in their mind that encourage violent and cruel acts. He'd even send images into their nightmares of them murdering their own loved ones. Sometimes this would lead to a mental breakdown, and sometimes the person would even be driven to a point of doing exactly what they'd seen in their minds. Regardless,
okay.
the
Now it
results
makes
always
sense.
ranged from bad to worse, unless the victim could overcome their fear. Mind Scrupulos may very well be
Now it
more
makes
intelligent
sense.
than any demon general that has existed, though he himself actually calls himself a super demon. We are aware of this because he has
Oh, you're a demon, alright. Just not a super demon. Oh, yeah? What's the difference?
actually been captured multiple times by an ally of the Predator coalition of demon hunters and brought to them for unsuccessful containment. He has somehow discovered a way to make himself immune to the weapons usually most effective against demons, so killing him has thus far been impossible. The last time
That's
he was
impressive.
captured, he was asked what the difference is between a demon and a so-called super demon. His response was one simple word: presentation.
Son of a...
As though that were a cue, as soon as he said it,
You can't be serious. I just made that same joke.
a rocket made of various fireworks exploded into the side of the Coalition base in which he was being held, destroying the walls and giving him an opportunity to escape. The shot had been fired by his one demon minion, a fiend with aesthetic traits similar to that of gorillas and fish. Mind Scrupulos
Yeah,
has not
minion.
been recaptured since that last escape, but has also not been active since a particularly skilled demon hunter allegedly lost his life. You see, the first time Mind Scrupulos was captured, it was by a demon hunter named Mitchell Mann. He was not technically
Mitchell
employed
Mann?
by the Coalition, preferring to work
So, Metro Man.
independently without oversight, but he would
Okay.
assist them on rare occasions, and he was quite the asset when he was willing to help them. This is because Mitchell possessed one of the gems of the angelic, made by my
Oh.
siblings and me. The one he held was the golden gem, which granted him
Nice. So now that's 4 of them located? Is that right? 4 of them? Jake has one, Anya has one, and I believe that's the name of the fish girl. There is probably one more I'm forgetting, so yeah, this would have to be the 4th one, right?
immense physical strength and durability, like that of my brother Torbos. After Mitchell captured Mind Scrupulos, the so-called super demon became obsessed with this hunter. The demon even began targeting a woman he believed to be the love of Mitchell's life, kidnapping her to lure Mitchell into various traps. Traps he was always able to escape thanks to his strength. Unfortunately, Mitchell assured
Yeah.
the Coalition he would once again capture Mind Scrupulos upon his last escape, and a week later the demon appeared ever so briefly on the shores of the main base of the Predator Coalition, holding in his hand the golden gem.
Oh.
He was there to gloat as Mind Scrupulos alleged that he had finally
Huh.
managed to steal the gem from Mitchell and kill the heroic hunter. But I am
Wait. Of course, in the movie, we do know that. And spoilers if you haven't seen the movie Megamind. It's old as hell, though, but so if you haven't seen it yet, what the hell's wrong with you? Spoiler. Oh, we know that Metro Man fakes his death, so that would mean that this guy's Crystal, or that, Mega Scorpulus, or whatever the hell his name is holding a fake.
skeptical of this claim. If Mitchell truly was slain, then his gem should have sought out a new host to wield it already. Instead, it is possessed by Mind Scrupulos, though
Mind
thankfully a
Scrupulos,
demon
my
cannot
mistake.
utilize its powers himself. It seems to be an unfortunate situation, but the silver lining to this confusing, grim ordeal is that Mind Scrupulos has seemingly lost his drive to hunt prey since Mitchell disappeared some years ago. Let us just hope his lust for a hunt stays depleted, at least until a new worthy foe for this super demon appears.
Oh, someone like, Titan? Okay, Mind Scropulos. Okay, again, the name is a mouthful, but I love the design. Next.
Okay, I know I've been letting Benny run the ads lately, but because this is a brand new book and I'm super excited about it, I'm gonna do this one myself. You sure about
alright.
that, Pop? Folks tend to pay more attention when I do the ads. Like my mom always says, a clever shop could sell a busted mop to a crooked cop. Yes, Benny, I'm
Damn,
sure. I'm too
okay.
excited about this book to let you... Yeah, that saying makes less sense the more I think about it. So what are you doing thinking about it then? Yeah, alright.
I mean, it makes sense. A crooked shop could sell a busted mop to a... What was the last part of that? Hold on.
I do the ads. Like my mom always says, a clever shop could sell a busted mop to a crooked cop.
Oh, my mistake. A clever shop could sell a busted mop to a crooked cop.
Yes, Benny,
My
I'm
mistake.
sure. I'm too excited about this book to let you... Yeah, that saying makes less sense the more I think about it. So what are you doing thinking about it then? Yeah, alright, fair enough. Anyway, the Fear of the Demon Hunters Extended Edition novel has 66 pages with full-color art. It's the most art of any of my novels so far. And it includes not only a full bonus chapter near the middle of the book, called Poison of the DM Toad. Wait, DM Toad like DMT? Did you write a character that's a frog that sells drugs or something and a book about demons? I mean, not exactly, but you'll have to just get the book to find out by either reading that new chapter or watching that chapter, because at the end of that chapter, which is near the middle of the book, there's both a link and a QR code to watch or download that chapter, which I've made into a video like any other classic Popcross video, where you get to see me drawing the 3 drawings for that chapter and telling the story.
Oh,
wow,
that'd be
that's
so
great
nice.
for folks who can get it, and sucks for Australians. We ain't got no way to get this thing since Amazon don't do color printing out in kangaroo riding land. Actually, this book I have finally made available on both Amazon and Blurb, which does ship to Australia and a bunch of places that Amazon didn't hit.
Good for
Plus,
them.
after ample requests, I have actually got Mytholethal available up on Blurb as well. And while I'm super happy with the print qualities on both Amazon and Blurb, if you have a choice between the two, honestly, I'd kind of recommend Blurb. Shipping might take a bit longer, but the print quality is slightly better than Amazon. But again, both versions look great.
That's kind of good.
Wow, well, you just think of everything. That's great, and let's just hope that folks actually stuck around to listen to this since, you know, you did the ad instead of me. Yeah, hopefully, but either way, I'll let you run the next one again anyway. Links are in the description. Now back into more DreamWorks demons.
Support.
The minions of most demon generals are unconditionally loyal, not having enough consciousness to question their general's rule. But one particular minion of the former animal demon general, Zuphiathan, was loyal to a point of obsession. Mortosis was created by Zuphiathan originally with the...
I'm sorry, Mortosis? Oh, that name's actually difficult to say.
...intent of culling weaker demons of Zuphiathan's own ranks to strengthen his army as a whole.
I saw a minion.
Mortosis was originally a demon made in the image of a mouse lemur, and as such was quite small and nimble, but had a ravenous appetite, not only for fearful humans, but for demons who were not pulling their weight in Zuphiathan's ranks.
A demon
if
that
a demon had
not
succeeded in a...
Good God in heaven, look at that thing. That thing, oh God, that is a demon. That is a demon. William Reed, what the hell did you draw, buddy? What is this thing?
In quite some time, meaning they were not sending strength to Zuphiathan,
oh my God.
then Mortosis would seek them out and devour that demon, and in turn acquire that demon's abilities. The pig demon and starfish demon in Zuphiathan's ranks were devoured this way, and after each devouring, Mortosis would return to Zuphiathan with the hope of being praised for his work. Though Zuphiathan was never as grateful as Mortosis hoped. Instead of compliments, Zuphiathan was more likely to say of this minion,
"Oh, you're so annoying, shut up!"
This would simply elevate Mortosis.
You know what, Zuphiathan, I hate your guts, but I can actually agree with you on this guy. I don't want this thing talking to me, looking at me. I don't want it even near my house.
Mortosis's desperation to do his work diligently, though he eventually got on Zuphiathan's last nerve when Mortosis targeted a demon that the general actually liked. The bear demon, Ursikuda, was a variant of a panda demon who had once been a great aid to the demon general, who I'll discuss in a few moments. Ursikuda had become more active as of...
Wait a minute. So does that mean... Oh, okay. Yeah, we're gonna get the chameleon from the latest Kung Fu Panda movie. I thought we were gonna get Poe.
...late and slain more terrified humans than any others in Zuphiathan's ranks. The demon general praised the bear demon in the very way Mortosis hoped to be praised. And he grew jealous. Mortosis then targeted the bear demon while it slumbered and devoured the beast. Zuphiathan learned of this and became so furious that he banished Mortosis from his ranks. The minion never accepted this as truth and continued to worship Zuphiathan, and attempted to return to his side many times, only to be shooed away over and over again.
Zuphiathan, at that point, just killed the damn thing!
We are not certain now where this minion is, but my own best guess would be that it is seeking vengeance upon the being who slayed Zuphiathan. It will of course find that to be quite an impossible task, given the might of the one who defeated the general. The only reason we know of this tale is because of my ally, Vivian Sabraya, who has used the artifact known as the Demonitrix to take on the form of Zuphiathan, granting her access to his memories along with his abilities, and unfortunately it seems his attitude, as she becomes somewhat more greasy when she takes the form of the once mighty animal demon general.
And I would love to hear that, unless that actually did happen in the field of demon hunters that I'm just not remembering. Yeah.
Perhaps if Mortosis ever does rear his head, we could simply have Vivian take Zuphiathan's form and give him new orders. But we will have to see if this demon ever does return, and deal with it then.
Best order to give it would just be simple. Go to the bottom of the ocean and stay there for 1,000 years.
Speaking of the former animal demon general, well, Zuphiathan is now widely known to my world as a result of him being the one to reveal demonkind to humanity. He was actually not the first animal demon general. He himself was once a minion to the original chameleon demon, called Tohotratana, not to be confused with the chameleon demon that worked under Zuphiathan's ranks. Tohotratana would use a needle-like blade.
So wait, there was a chameleon demon general of animals that somehow was dethroned, and Zuphiathan took that throne. Huh. Now I want to hear that story.
Blade on the end of her tongue to pierce other demons and absorb part of their form permanently. She could thereafter transform into them and utilize their abilities, though this also made her a target of other demons, as when she would use this gift, the demon she was stealing power from would be substantially weakened. If this ability sounds familiar to those with more extensive knowledge of the Demonitrix, that is because the once demon queen, Fear herself, eventually used the very energy of this demon to create that legendary artifact, but only after Tohotratana had been usurped as the animal demon general. She was clearly incredibly powerful and would be very difficult to defeat, but Zuphiathan was determined to take her role. He had gained enough might and consciousness to make a demon minion of his own, despite not being a general himself. He made a panda demon called Podomelo, presenting the demon to Tohotratana as a gift, claiming it would aid her as he and the other animal demons did. She accepted the gift, not knowing that Zuphiathan was utilizing all his might and much of his time to train and imbue this panda demon with more strength and abilities.
So in other words, Zuphiathan was Shifu.
Well, it would appear to be a very bumbling, slow beast. In truth, despite its rotund stature, it was incredibly swift. To prepare it to fight Tohotratana and to weaken her by taking out some of her strongest minions, Zuphiathan sent his panda demon after the leopard demon, peacock demon, and yak demon. He was able to slay them all. Then,
Leopard, yak, peacock. Of course, it's Kung Fu Pandas 1, 2, and 3.
Zuphiathan led the minion in a battle against the general, and together they were able to fell the former leader, and Zuphiathan became the new animal demon general. Though we are not certain what became of Podomelo after this. The last memory Zuphiathan has of this demon was sending it off on a hunt.
Sorry, not the hall. I meant him.
With a Cossack fox demon, not to be confused with the more well-known fox demon, Vulpaxana, which my ally Vivian once took the form of. Those two demons then never returned to Zuphiathan's side, though the general didn't seem to care much as he'd acquired the title he'd sought, the purpose for which he'd made the panda demon in the first place. He simply created the bear demon mentioned in the previous tale afterwards to replace the panda. If the panda demon is still out there, we doubt that it would have fallen into slumber, as many other demon minions have recently, given its level of might. It would be easy to worry about what could happen if this demon has continued to acquire power since the fall of Tohotratana, and tries to take claim as the new animal demon general, but I know...
one thing I actually have to say real quick, and I know we're just at the end of the story, but if that Poe demon was still around, I don't actually think it would be evil. I mean, simply put, it was created to go against the chameleon. And it doesn't seem like it would actually be based on a feel, because I don't know anyone that would be afraid of panda bears. Considering that they are so lazy, that if a mother has 2 cubs, it will literally just let one starve to death and only care for one of them. I'm not even joking, that's a real thing.
That this is simply something we can only deal with if it does occur, and is not worth concerning myself with now. After all, as a wise man once said, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why we call it the present.
Love that saying. Very classic saying. Oh, why do you have an eye on your tongue, buddy?
If you enjoyed this, you might want to check out my K-pop Demon Hunters as Demons episode, or
I
maybe
did.
my Monsters Inc. characters as SCPs video.
And
Huge
I
thank
did.
you to everybody who submitted for this episode, and special thank you to Emesis, Vigo Anderson, William Reed, and Rocky Solid. For the
All
September
awesome.
community redraw, I want you all to submit your own Nickelodeon animated character as a mech armor. Instructions
Ooh,
are up on screen.
okay.
I'm excited to see what you submit, and that's all for today, except of course we're ending this video on some kind of
Positive
positive or
inspiring
inspiring
note.
note. And today's message is something I read from a man named Michael Clark, who said, "It's time to stop letting people who never did it tell you it can't be done." When someone tries to tell you that some dream that you have or are working towards is impossible, that's often based on limiting beliefs that other people have instilled in them, or maybe
blinds
from
they
the fact
wear.
that they tried a little bit and gave up because it was too hard. Someone else saying that something is impossible does not mean it's impossible for you, and does not have to be something you let get stuck in your head. Go
That's
into a
right.
thing knowing you will achieve it no matter how hard it is, and as long as you keep going, eventually you will get there, or somewhere even better. I hope that's
Perfect.
inspiring. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next episode on Monday.
Oh, alright everyone, that's going to be the end of today's video, and I hope you all enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all of y'all next time when we flick back on. Until then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.